I am really fading badly here. A bit of crumbs, which is the damage control level now. Everywhere it feels like starting to cramp up. So I'm a bit afraid to push. It's bad. This is not exactly the start I would have hoped for this video, but we are going to start with some real talk here. So tomorrow is my first marathon in 14 years. I did my first ever marathon 14 years ago. I did finish it, but all I remember, or most of what I remember about it, was the pain of running the race, because that was pretty spontaneous and I was younger then, I was fit, but I realized general fitness does not translate directly into endurance events. It helps, but you still got to prep for it. So this time round, training kind of went well, but until 2 weeks ago, I kind of got plantar fasciitis. For those of you who don't know, it's basically like pain at the bottom of the sole. For me, it was like mainly on the right foot at the bottom heel at this part. I didn't think much about it because it still felt fine, but gradually in the next few days I discovered like, my left foot started feeling it a bit as well. So what I tried to do then was basically, it was like 1 week from the tapering week. So I just decided to taper early, right? Stop running totally, and I switched most of my training basically to strength training in the gym and like stretching, flexibility, stuff like that. So 2 weeks in, I'll say that there is no longer like very obvious pain. There's still some irritation. So I know that it's not fully recovered. And I came into the race prepared for this, the plantar fasciitis. I kind of believe that it will show up likely maybe in the 15, 20, hopefully later, maybe 25 kilometer into the race. It'll probably like kind of show some symptoms of like maybe dull pain. I just have to cope with that. So I actually still thought the possibility of finishing it, it's still quite high. Although it's really unknown, right? I will only know when it happens, and I did not go and test it because I obviously did not try to run like some long distance run before the race. The problem is that yesterday I came back with a pain on my left foot, like right up here in the upper midsole area. I did some research on it, not medical advice, not a medical professional, but based on what I understood, this is another issue. I can't remember the name, but it's basically something like overstraining, or kind of the gel at this portion of the foot might have worn off, so now it's like hitting onto the bones directly, and that's why it's causing the pain. Plantar fasciitis is kind of a bit related because obviously it is also at the bottom of the foot. My deduction is that in the last 2 weeks, whereas I try to relieve any pain and pressure on the back of my heel, I kind of shifted some of my postures and the way I walk, and I think that caused like extra pressure on other areas of the foot. So this might have just surfaced from that, because it didn't come from like me doing a sudden sport or movement and then having the pain. It was like I just got up from a cafe after sitting for a while and walked around, and then suddenly there's just this dull pain here. So this is not good, obviously, because this is just happening like a day or 2 days before the marathon. I literally have no way to try and rehab this at the moment. I'm doing all that I can, but I'm really leaving it up to fate to see how I will feel tomorrow morning. Honestly speaking, if this is still painful by tomorrow, I am quite doubtful I can finish the race, because going out and walking on this while just casually looking around, it's probably fine, but running a few hours on this, honestly, I have no idea. But the way I see this is that this is nothing I can control. It is what it is right now. So I'm still going to prep for it like I'm going to run the race and finish the race. And I'm going to take you guys along regardless, and we'll see what happens. Like quite a queue here. Most people probably come today because this is the day before, there's the pasta party, everything. So a big collection was possible yesterday, but I reckon almost everyone comes today because it's also a Saturday. Hello! Registering for the marathon. So I'm back from the expo and I'm packing for tomorrow, so I thought I would just quickly show you guys what I'm bringing, what I'm wearing, what are the filming gears, and what are the food I'm bringing as well. So I managed to get the t-shirt changed to the right size. This is the event shirt. I'm going to wear this shirt to join in the fun and not stand out too much from the crowd. And then I have a running vest that I'm going to bring so I can carry all the film gears, the food, and I also probably bring my jacket along, because I'm going to wear the jacket there because it's too cold for me to go there without a jacket. This is the Uniqlo feather compressible one that I think many people know. And then I can stuff it in my running vest, and I will look a bit like a turtle shell, but it's going to be light. So that's what I'm going to do. For socks, I usually wear toe socks for running long distances because they help to prevent blisters for me. These are the Injinji ones and these are the thicker ones. I do have a thinner version, but I'm going to go with the thick ones because of the injury that I have at the sole of the foot. Hopefully this helps to give extra padding to it. And I'm going to wear a cap with a head mount for my DJI Nano if I choose to film that way. But my main filming gear will still be the GoPro. And then I have my waist bead, obviously, and my sunglasses. So sunglasses are from Tunu Vision. But what's interesting about the whole Antalya situation is that I also mentioned it in the previous video. The cafe owner, who is a local, was telling me you can experience 4 seasons in Antalya in one day. And that is kind of true because, for example, today was pretty rainy in the morning. And that was bad. Like, I didn't like it. It was windy and stuff and it was cold. But yesterday afternoon, it was actually quite sunny and I actually felt quite hot in my jacket. So depending on the situation, I kind of need to be prepared for both types. In this sense, I've decided not to go with a long pants this time around because my lower body is less susceptible to cold compared to my upper body. So I'm just going to go with a regular shorts because most people will be that way as well. For the technology, basically I have headphones. I usually listen to podcasts during my long runs because they help to distract me, it makes me think, so I like it. The DJI Nano is a backup camera that I'll use for some shots. Part of the goal for this first marathon is actually to test out the different gears and different filming angles that I can maybe use that wouldn't distract me too much from the run. So I'm trying out some of these things. And then I have a mic that will be good if it's windy because this will help to block out some of the noise. And then I have my Garmin running watch, which is good for pacing, obviously. I'll need this. And then we go on to the food. So I'm going to bring like 3 gels with me, which means I'm actually relying mostly on the aid stations for their gels. I'm going to risk it with trying new branded gels that they're providing because I don't want to carry a whole ton of gels. I'm going to carry 3. One I will definitely need before hitting the first aid station that has gel, but the other 2 will be backups just in case, because I'm going to start slow. So I don't know if I might run out, they might run out of gel or whatever there. So I just need to be prepared. Then I have 2 energy bars, one definitely before the race and another one just as a backup. Then these are some stuff that I use during training. This is like the typical tape. I know there are parts of my foot that are very prone to blisters when I run long distances, so I'm going to tape them. I might or might not bring the tape along, most likely not. And then we have this toe protectors. The big toe ones are mainly for blister prevention because I get blisters on my big toe. And then the small ones I usually use on my second toe because if my shoe is not tight, if my shoelaces are not tight enough, I usually have them jamming against the top of the shoe, which then causes like, the blue-black toenails that runners should be familiar with. But I've kind of grown out of them. I haven't used them in the last few runs. So I might bring them along, but I'll probably not start with them because they're quite light anyway. But yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow, and going to the expo actually made me even more excited because I see the other runners there and they are pretty excited about it. So that has got me going as well. Definitely felt more encouraged to try and finish the race. But like I say, there is no real strategy here at the moment to cope with the injury apart from just reacting to it as it comes. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at the starting line. Starting line. Basically, they segmented it by the distance, but I don't think there's segmentation by time.
Yes, we are just a few minutes away from your start. Look at the person next to you. Say good luck. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
In my head.
Here we go.
Alright, people are going on hot, but I need to slow down and stick to my plan. And filming is kind of one of the strategies to use to basically help me slow down. And I'm going to start really slow for the first 5k. So even now I'm like faster than what I want. So I expect to be passed by a lot of the half marathoners who are going to start in like 10 minutes, I think. But yeah, it's looking nice, the weather. I actually want to talk more, but I haven't had water to drink since I left the house. So I need to get to the first 2k first, which is the first aid station for water. I got saved by a kind lady handing out iced coffee at the side of the road. So now my throat is way more east. My pace is still way too fast for what I want to be. So I'm going to take it slow. We'll talk through the strategy again. So the goal is to do a negative split It's not a big difference from the initial plan without an injury, but the whole idea is to stay as fresh as possible in this race because I have another one coming up. The idea is not just to finish this race, but to finish the whole series. Are you just traveling here for the marathon, or are you doing like...
No, I'm here for this event.
Just for this event specifically?
Yeah. And just to have fun a little bit after. Just the 5 days.
Right.
To see like the culture, sightseeing, you know. Yeah, that's my day too.
Hello!
Hi.
Thank you! Thank you! There's a guy up front with a carpet. We're gonna see what he's doing.
Ich kann Deutsch.
You only speak Deutsch?
Yes.
But what are you doing with the lock?
Nochmal. Das
no.
20 Kilo.
Oh man, you're training?
Ja. Nee. Für bedürftige Kinder, wie kann man sagen? Kranke Kinder.
Okay, I'm gonna Google translate that when I get back. That's 20 kilos
Yes.
that he's carrying and running a full marathon. Alright, we're past the 10 kilometers
Thank
at
you.
11.5. Hello! So it's much more quiet because most of the running pack is in the half marathon. Nice view still. I'm not actually on pace because this girl is running like super fast. So I'm trying to match her pace instead.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you
Good.
doing, sir?
I'm good. The view is nice though, the scenery so far.
Yeah, especially those mountains on that other side.
Yeah, I think later there will be more exposure to the coast. Hello, Malabar.
It gets so lonely in this race. There's only 318 people attending.
Yeah, that's what I heard for the full marathon, right?
Yeah.
Alright, we're at the beach, almost close to the 20k mark. The pace I've been going is much faster than I wanted because I was running with a companion that I found at the start of the race, so it's just fun to run together. But that was a much faster pace than I want to, so I'm taking it slow now to recover a bit, and finishing should not be a problem unless I burn out, so that's probably the main concern. And just now I did a jump for the camera and now I kind of have a bit of a cramp on the left calf. So not a great idea, not going to try that again anytime soon. It's weird because I'm starting to feel a bit of cramps, which is not a typical problem I have in training runs. But my last long run has been quite a while ago anyway. I do suspect it's a bit of fueling issue because like I say, there's not as much gel as I thought there is along the way. So for the next station I'm going to rest a bit and eat a lot of stuff because I'm hungry, man, and I don't think I'll be negative splitting. Oh dude, how's it going? Oh, you're good?
Hello?
Good?
Good. Are you tired?
I'm starting to feel a bit of cramps on the calf, so I'm like, let's fuel up. Ate a ton of oranges there. Hopefully it's gonna help to prevent the cramps from coming. Usually muscles are not a big concern for me, but today it is. So I'm a bit afraid to push because the moment I get a cramp, I know I'm done. Like I won't be able to push. So I'd rather keep consistent first. I don't want to jinx it too soon. But the plantar fasciitis have not really struck super hard yet. I'm still able to run at a good pace. So that's what we're going to keep going with. Can do this! Go, go, go! You can do it! Soon to the halfway! This is fun, honestly, because if you're running at a more chill pace, you can really like support people, feel the atmosphere. Let's go! Let's go! Have a good day! The weather forecast for next week is going to be pretty nice, so I'm looking forward to that. And I'll take you guys along on like my recovery journey, which is still primarily going to be eating. We're coming to 30k. Honestly, I'm almost at the damage control level now because there's like cramps that I've not felt. Because over 30 kilometers I've trained during my long runs, never really had cramps. So this is new. And so now that I'm trying to just manage it, hoping to get another gel station with a lot of electrolytes, because I feel like maybe the two things that are problematic here, one is the lack of electrolytes, because there were no sports drinks, so mainly you're getting it from the gels. Gel stations were not as frequent as I thought, so I'm just hoping to get a gel station next and slam a whole bunch of gels inside, because I think that's what's helping with the cramps. So no electrolytes at this station as well. I'm not sure if there's going to be. I just gotta assume that there won't be, and I just gotta manage this for like 7 more kilometers roughly. I mean, stamina wise I'm fine. It's just really the muscles that are cramping up. So this pace is actually really chill for me. The way I see it is that muscle recovery is fast, so I don't really mind taking the damage here. I think it'll be okay once I rest up. But what I don't want is that because of the muscle failure, it causes like more strain to the tendons, because those take very long to recover. Let me look at all this. Alright, we are roughly at the final 1k. It's also getting hot, so this is actually a good time to just finish up. Oh man, this tent was great. Like, I thought it would just be a random massage, but the girl that like helped massage my right leg, I thought it would just be like a quick one, but she really dig deep into like figuring out what's the issue. I can feel the big difference between my right leg and my left leg right now. Alright, so let's do a debrief of the marathon, and everything here is like just my own analysis. I'm not a pro or anything, I'm just trying to record what I feel, and hopefully in years to come I look back, I'll be like, oh, this is right, or oh, this is not correct, and stuff like that. So the biggest surprise this time round was definitely the muscle cramps. During my training long runs, I've never had this issue of muscle cramps. I mean, during my very first marathon decades ago, yes, but it's not a good comparison because back then I simply didn't train for it and anything. So looking at the training long runs, they have always been the fastest to recover, and what's even more surprising is that I felt it at quite an early stage. So a couple of reasons I think that could have led to the cramps is, one, I did not really stick to the pacing that I want. Basically started talking to some people and then joining them together with the run, and so the pacing kind of gone off the rails right at the start. But honestly, no regrets, because part of the reason for running the marathon is actually to enjoy the atmosphere and vibe. So I was happy that I got to talk to people and run with them and stuff like that. But obviously that means a faster start than I wanted to, and that potentially causes it because you burn out quite fast at the start. The other reason that I spoke a lot about during the race, which I'm kind of attributing maybe a big part of this to, is the lack of electrolytes. And this is also where the cramps happening at such an early stage is kind of surprising for me, because I have done like long runs before over the 20k without consuming like electrolytes or isotonic drinks. So I'm pretty surprised it hit before the 20k mark. What I think is there is a contribution of both factors, whereby I started the pace way faster than I wanted, and then also not having electrolytes throughout the race that have kind of caused it to crash and burn. And one of the biggest lessons here is obviously not to fully rely on aid stations, and I kind of already know that because I think most runners will tell you that, especially if you search online in discussion forums, they'll say that don't rely fully on aid stations because they might not be accurate or the supplies might run out, you'll never know. So I did knowingly take that risk, and so I'm happy with it, especially since I still finished the race. If I did not, I probably would not be like as non-regretful about it as now. But yeah, so in the next race, I'll probably carry more of like the electrolytes and stuff. To give you an idea, it's basically that none of the aid stations are providing isotonic drinks. They only have water, and the electrolytes actually come from the gel. The assumptions from the runners program was that there's gels at almost every station, But it ended up that I think there was only gels at 2 stations. And the gels they gave, it was like a gel that has electrolytes in it. And most of the time after taking one of the electrolyte gels, I do feel better, which is why I kind of attribute the biggest reason for the cramps to be the lack of salt and electrolytes in this case. But obviously I do think, like I say, the rubbish pacing that I did was probably part of the reason as well. Okay, so looking at the bright side of it, right, what I think is that I ended up with a pace that is way slower than I wanted to, even from the initial plan. And why I say this is like good is because for this first race, my biggest concern coming into it before the injury even was actually pace and ego management. I was always afraid that I would go like really fast and try to clock a good timing, but I know that this race should not be that, because when you're trying to complete multiple marathons in a few months, managing the damage becomes very important. And so looking at the damage that I've incurred that I'll go into next, this might have played into my benefits. Right now I will conclude that it's playing to my benefits, but I don't want to say too soon until we finish the journey. So this time around, I think, judging for how I'm feeling at the moment, the thing that took the biggest hit was the muscles because of all the cramps that were coming up. But I'm confident they will recover. The only other cause of concern that I had yesterday was that I felt like pain at the side of the left knee joint. So that's always not good. But by this morning, it felt like way better. Like there's almost no pain at it now. I'm not a medical professional. To me, anything that's related to the joints are the most important, because that's where I typically feel the most pain. Whereas right now, I have no issues on any of this on my knees or anything. So that's amazing. What was surprising when I got back and de-kit everything was there was actually 2 big blisters on both of my toes, which I did not felt throughout the race, honestly. So when I removed my socks, I was very, very surprised to see them there. This probably meant that the blister tapes kind of work in the sense of not that they prevented the blister, but I didn't feel the blisters through the race. So if need be, I'll probably use toe guards in my next race. Alright, so the next marathon is in 2 weeks. It's in a city that I've spent a month in previously, so I kind of call it one of my favorite cities. So if you want to follow along, make sure to subscribe to the channel and you'll find out where the destination is. Yep, and for the next few days, I'll be enjoying Antalya, which is beautiful, as you can see. This is just a small part of it. There are like beaches and parks during the marathon that I've seen that I've not visited, and even on the other side, there are even more like beaches by the coastline. They're supposed to be amazing. So I'll be eating more food and checking out the whole place. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for being here.